So I I was staying away from getting mods and doing different things like that. But I was browsing through and I came across this truck. And this truck um, kind of interests me a little bit as I'm browsing through the mods. I think it was at modats.com. But this truck, with the exception of the white, is just about an exact replica of what my dad drove for many years. The stripes, the traditional stripes. The only difference between this truck is the green's probably a little darker. I didn't quite get it right, and it's a instead of a white, it was a cream color. So this mod is this truck's pretty decked out. Um, it's really cool, and I decided when I saw it, I was like, you know what, I gotta grab this. So this is the first voyage with it. Um, it's a little different. It's got a little bit more power than the Kenworth I had. I traded that Kenworth in. I was gonna actually, I was gonna move it to a garage and just buy this one, but by doing that, I would have had to take out another loan. And I didn't, I didn't want to do that. So, so I decided to just go with it, trade it. I can always get it back later. Um, but this, I don't know. When I saw this, I was just like, I gotta have it. Um, the other thing I did was I've been hearing so much about the coast to coast, and I was like, I'm just gonna. I got there's so many states, map of already from the game. I have all the maps that they've come out with for the DLCs, and I was like, I got so much landscape to already kind of explore, and I didn't really want to add anything to it. And then I'm like, well, the truth is, I've already explored all that stuff at one time, just about. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna grab the coast to coast, and I read up, which one to grab and what you had to have and all that. So I installed it, and I haven't been able to pick up any jobs yet to take me towards the east. Um, but at this time, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take a trip to try this thing out. Um, it drives a lot different than the other Kenworth that I had, but so I'll just take it for a run, see how it goes. Um, I didn't adjust the seat. Like I couldn't see the mirror on the driver's side unless I turned my driver's head. So I make this trip, and then after I realize I can't see red lights, green lights, and visors. I pretty much decked it out. So I had to go in and adjust the seats and everything. I lowered myself, but it still wasn't enough. Um, but it was just really, I don't know. It grabbed me. So I downloaded it, bought it. That's the cool thing I like too about the mod is you don't just get it, you actually have to purchase it. So that's pretty cool. The only difference between this truck and the one my dad drove was the headlights. Headlights are round on his truck. They're square on this one, but so I don't know what the model was, but I had to have it. So I did this and I did and of course all my trips are from World of Trucks. So I said I'll just grab a load, try it out, and I'll go from there. And my intention was to just kind of work my way towards the west, so, or east, I mean. I'm already on the west. I did watch a video. I normally don't watch too much. There's a couple YouTubers, but I did watch just enough to see how it looked. You know, if it's just roads with nothing, no vegetation or anything like that, then I was like, it's not really worth grabbing it then. But I was pretty amazed by the video that I was watching, so I downloaded it, installed it. It's pretty easy to install. But I was really impressed. You know, like I was looking at just all the states. You know, even up into Vermont, New Hampshire. You know, you got Burlington, you know, Manchester. So it's like that's really cool. So I want to kind of do a trek. I did see that, you know, they're adding sections. You know, like the Florida, I think Atlanta has a lot of roads. You know, whereas the Northeast really doesn't. So it's got enough. But the other thing I noticed too, and I don't know for sure. I haven't read the patch notes, but the cars look different. There seems to be different cars. Granted, in every state, police are different, but I was pretty surprised with some of the trucks that I'd noticed. But I did a quick little run. Tractor trailers look different too. Before, I think you'd basically see the basic models, but now some of the ones you come across are all tricked out, pretty special. How they're set up. But the gear ratio on this truck is a lot different too, so it kind of throws me off a little bit. And like I said, it's got more power. It's a small trailer, single axle trailer, but it's still, it tows pretty easy. But I don't know why all of a sudden I just got the yawns, and I haven't yawned at all. And this is pretty comical actually. So I'm passing a Kenworth trailer, and if you look in the mirror, it's Peterbilt towing it. I kind of chuckled when I noticed that. So it's kind of a Chevy versus Ford thing, you know. Yeah, this thing definitely has no trouble doing the speed limit. And then some. The only thing I noticed too, and I don't think it's on this trip, I think it's on my next one, but there was a section of road where it's kind of an S-turn, and there was nobody beside me, but I moved over to pass a truck, and it's kind of an uphill thing, and I got gigged for damage, and I'm like, I didn't hit anything. There's nothing near me, but so I got a couple infractions for damage when there was no car around me, and then I did get one. I did, as I was trying to figure out what was going on, this car slid right in to the spot, and I did end up hitting him, but I really like this truck. Is really cool. There's some really talented guys out there. a couple low riders and stuff like that, but I don't know. We actually have one around here. It almost looks like a hot rod the way it's set up. It looks like it's been lowered. It's got fenders that go from the ground at the back of the wheel to the ground at the front of the wheel. Really cool, almost like homemade fenders, but it just really looks really slick, and it's kind of stretched out a little bit. And he tows sawdust with it. You see him every now and then. Not so much in the winter. I think it's more of a summertime rig, but he's owned it, I guess, since it was new. And I guess when he got to the point where it was paid off and it was time to retire it, he rebuilt the motor, took the body apart, painted it, kind of restored it a little bit, and when he put it back together, he gave it kind of a hot rod look. The super long stacks, but just really, really cool. It looks like something you'd use on cruise night. That's how cool it is. But he's got a hook to a trailer, and he's towing with it. Big chrome visor across the front. Just really, really neat. It's funny too, because I've been looking. I'm big into RCs, and I used to race RC cars, and I moved on to, we had a local track and it closed, so I switched over and started doing crawling. And but there's a YouTube series that this guy does where he's got this little construction site set up in his yard, and everything is RC, and it's really neat. Get tractor trailers, and it's amazing the detail that are in them. You can get kits to build them and stuff, and I'm kind of tempted to get one just to put it together, but you can do all kinds of stuff. Get different kinds of trailers for them, and really, really cool. And you can see they have these big events where they take a big gym and they put roads on it and a sandbox, and you got all these guys with bucket loaders and dump trucks, and they basically spend a whole weekend and they just drive around that little city that they create, hauling dirt, logs. I think one guy had a working log truck. And it's just really, really cool. The one YouTuber that I watch a lot with that is Medic is his name. It's, I just had it too. RC. I can't even think of it now. I was just about to say it too, and then RC Sparks. That's what it is. And Medic RC Sparks, and he does this thing. He's got some excavators and stuff, and tractor trailers and everything. And it's really cool to see those things. And 1/14th scale, and you can make these really, really neat little tractor trailers. I think it's like $500 for a kit for the truck, and then probably you got to put all the electronics in it and stuff. But I don't know. I've been looking at them. And I've always thought they're pretty interesting because I've always liked to put models together, but I never had the patience. The glue, I'd try to do too much at once and then have the glue stuck all over everything. But So I was trying to figure out where I was supposed to put this. And then I realized that I drove right by the... I thought before, maybe it's a patch, but I thought before when you drove up to it, it just automatically popped up. But I don't know why I was kind of spacing. This time I think I was just enjoying the truck. But I realized that I forgot to hit the enter button and choose where I wanted to drop it off. But much like this game, the detail in those little RC trucks is pretty amazing. And that setup, I'd like to go to that just to see it. I don't know where they do it, but it's pretty cool. I like hobbies. When people get really deep into their hobbies, it's really interesting. And everybody should have a hobby. You know, you gotta have a hobby. It's what makes you sane. You know, it's like it work all day and on a weekend or afternoon you want to do something. One thing that's really fun is the rock crawling stuff. You know, hiking up a mountain. Yeah, all right, hiking's hiking. But when you get a little RC truck with you, and it's crawling over rocks and doing trail stuff, it just makes it that much more fun. And you kind of forget you're exercising, you know. But so I'm about to drop this off, and then I just basically go back to the garage and show some screenshots. The interesting thing about the paint though is in the garage, the little stripes look like they're black, and they're not. It's two tones of green. Yeah. I feel like I completely screwed up this thing, and then I'm like, yeah, we'll get it. The funny thing about this too is you're kind of at a Home Depot. And I don't remember seeing these in the game before I downloaded the Coast to Coast. So, like I said, I got to read the patch notes, but it's amazing what people do with this game. So. Yeah, I made a few trips. Gotta try to keep a couple trips ahead. I try to get these done. Like I spend a couple nights driving, getting through it, and then I spend a couple nights editing to get them uploaded. And when I can, I throw up a Division gameplay or whatever. I won't be doing any of that for a while because just the way my OBS is. So I did upload one last night. It was only like 6 minutes. So like I said, my internet's terrible, so to upload, it takes 8 hours or so to upload a 20-minute video. But yeah, so in the garage it looks black, but that's actually a dark green. It's pretty much what he drove, with the exception I think the rims are green. We painted the rims green, but I don't know. Just want to thank you guys for watching, hanging out, riding along, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks for watching.